Today, I'm creating the strongest character that ever lived in the Kaiju No. 8 universe. If you think characters like Hoshina, Mina, Ashiro, or even Kaiju No. 8 and Kaiju No. 9 are strong, well, give me a few minutes, because the character I'm about to create doesn't even come close to any character we've seen so far in the world of Kaiju No. 8. Speed, strength, special abilities, this character will have it all. And pointless to mention, but this character could bring the entirety of the Kaiju No. 8 world to its knees. But before we begin, just to make this a bit more difficult, a small rule. You see, in past videos like this we do on the series, we usually say that we can only use each character once. But while both Kaiju No. 8 and Kaiju No. 9 are so incredibly strong that it would be a waste to only use them once. So instead, we'll say we can use each character up to 2 times each. So for example, if we choose Kaiju No. 8's speed and strength, we won't be able to use them again for other traits like battle IQ or durability. And with that out of the way, let's now get to the exciting part of the video. Let's begin with race. Here we have 3 options. The first is Kaiju. Most Kaiju can tear through tanks, buildings, and lightly armored squads with little trouble. Even mid-level Kaiju take coordinated military action to defeat. Top Kaiju, like the Numbered, can solo entire cities, outmatch veteran officers, and adapt to weaponry. Heck, some of them are probably stronger than entire nations. Then the second race we can go for is humans. And yeah, even though humans are obviously not as powerful as some of the strongest Kaiju, well, hear this. Not only are they well trained in combat, they also wield a special type of battle suit developed by the Japan Defense Force. This suit enhances, among other things, their strength, speed, and durability. Each user has a release rate based on how much of the suit's potential they can utilize. The higher percentage released, the more power the user can exert from the suit. Add into the fact that humans can utilize not only weapons derived from dead Kaiju, humans can also use weapons created from powerful, previously defeated Numbered Kaiju. But we'll speak more about that in a little bit. The third category is the one we'll actually be going for, the hybrid between Kaiju and humans. And for that, we'll be using Hibino Kafka. This means that our character will be able to not only use his Kaiju form, but also use a suit and number weapons. Then yeah, I think this is the best option we could go for. This way, we can make use of the advantages Kaijus have, aka increased strength, speed, agility, regeneration, and even some special abilities unique to just them. But more on that in a little bit. Now, this was just the beginning, and the most interesting traits are yet to be analyzed. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's keep going. Next, let's talk about weapons compatibility. Okay, so as we mentioned, our character will have in his possession number weapons, meaning previously defeated numbered Kaiju used in a way to have their powers utilized by members of the Japan Defense Force. But how does this work exactly? You see, certain strong and talented individuals display compatibility with numbered weapons. It is not only extremely dangerous, it also places an enormous strain on the user's body and mind to control just one. However, there was a case of a user that showed high compatibility with multiple number weapons, Kikaru Shinomiya. You see, she had a rare compatibility with number weapons, achieving class 5 compatibility with numbers weapon 4, and class 4 with numbers weapon 1, 2, and 7. For the purposes of this video, we will use Kikaru as the weapons compatibility trait, but instead of 1 level 5 and 3 level 4 weapons, we will go for 3 level 5 number weapons compatibility. Having said that, which Kaiju should we use for the first weaponized Kaiju? You see, there are 15 numbered Kaiju, 12 of them which we saw in the series. When it comes to Kaiju number 3, 5, and 7, we never actually got any information on them, so obviously, we're not going to be considering them. For Kaiju number 8 and Kaiju number 9, all I'll say is that they will be put into better use later on in the video. So yeah, we won't be using them for this point either. This leaves us with 10 Kaiju to choose from. In the very least, we can use 3 of them, so this might be a bit easier to decide. Hear me out, as I think this is the best combination we could go for. When it comes to Kaiju number 1, when weaponized, it allows the user to read opponents' movements in advance, detect weak spots, and anticipate combat actions, aka a form of foresight. It allows for high-speed surgical strikes using predictive vision. Kaiju number 2 now offers immense brute strength, sonic-based attacks, and mouth energy blasts. Kaiju number 4 now offers flight via multiple wings and exceptional aerial speed. Kaiju number 6 has the special ability of cryokinesis, aka ice generation, snowstorm creation, and freezing attacks. Kaiju number 10 has enhanced regeneration, can fire explosive projectiles, and even has control over wyvern-type Kaiju, even though some of these features weren't seen when this Kaiju was weaponized. Then, Kaiju number 12 had strength and speed superior to even number 10. It could also shapeshift its limbs into blades. Kaiju number 14 now had some quite interesting abilities, including but not limited to levitation, teleportation, portal generation, energy attacks, and even force field manifestation. And finally, Kaiju number 15 that had the special ability of shapeshifting in order to mimic its opponent's moves and abilities. It also has more abilities like levitation, elongation, metamorphosis, and to shoot powerful energy beams. Among the ones we described, I think the main candidates are Kaiju number 1, Kaiju number 4, Kaiju number 6, Kaiju number 14, and Kaiju number 15. For the first weaponized Kaiju, I think I'll be going for Kaiju number 1. I mean, the ability to foresee the future and react accordingly is probably one of the most overpowered abilities someone could have. Kaiju number 1 is the first Kaiju we will use as a weaponized Kaiju for our character. But now, let's check what the second one will be. From what we analyzed so far, we still have Kaiju number 4, Kaiju number 6, Kaiju number 14, and Kaiju number 15 as the main candidates. I think the one I'll be taking next is Kaiju number 14. This would give our character abilities like levitation, portal generation, energy attacks, force field manifestation, and the one that I'm actually most interested in, teleportation. This, when combined with portal generation and even foresight from Kaiju number 1, well, you can foresee where you need to be at any moment in time and just teleport there in an instant. This combination is literally unfair to fight against. And now let's get to the third weaponized Kaiju. Here, some of you might probably be wondering why we didn't consider using Kaiju number 9 at all. Well, rather than using his abilities partially, aka have him as a weaponized Kaiju, we'll instead use him in a better way. From what we analyzed, we still have Kaiju number 4, Kaiju number 6, and Kaiju number 15 as the main candidates. I think that the special ability of number 4, which is basically flight, is nothing too insane, as we can already levitate from the special abilities of Kaiju number 15. Having said that, it's either down to Kaiju number 6, and thus the ability of cryokinesis, or Kaiju number 15, and the ability to mimic other abilities in real time while in battle. I think between the two of them, the ability mimicry seems like the better option. This ability alone would probably be the most difficult to fight against, no matter how strong the opponent is. And when combined with the rest of the overpowered abilities we have, well, then it kind of becomes impossible to win against. So now let's get into more of the physical attributes. Let's talk about speed. Here, the candidates we have are 4. First of all is Hoshina. This guy is the definition of a badass. And well, let's just say that he wasn't dubbed as Levi's incarnation within the Kaiju number 8 universe for nothing. He's incredibly fast, agile, and let's just say there's a reason he fights close range battles. This guy dodges and slashes through fast Kaiju at point blank range before most of them can even realize what just happened. Even Kaiju number 10 was impressed by Hoshina's speed, and this should tell you something. But then again, when we're talking about raw speed feats, we should also consider Narumi, that was considered Japan Defense Force's top officer. But then again, even though extremely fast, I still think Hoshina was faster. How about Kafka Hibino now, aka Kaiju number 8? Well, I still think Hoshina is probably faster than Kaiju number 8. I mean, remember, Kaiju number 8 is so strong because he excels on all areas and not just speed. Hoshina can still be used 2 more times in our video, while Kaiju number 8 has already been used once, and thus, we can only use him 1 more time. So, who should we choose here? Well, none of them, truthfully, as my actual choice is none other than Kaiju number 1. This Kaiju's main fighting style was its incredible speed, and well, it was the first Kaiju to be given a number for a reason. Let's just say that. So, overall, I'll be taking this Kaiju's speed over everyone else's. But since we spoke about speed, let's go ahead and check strength as well. Here we have 3 candidates. These are Kafka Hibino, Kaiju number 9, and Isao Shinomiya. You see, unlike most Kaiju that, yeah, they had highly destructive capabilities, these 3 have actual strength feats. Whereas most Kaiju just had enormous size and thus the main reason they were so destructive, when it comes to these 3, their strength was actually insane. For example, we saw Kafka literally vaporizing entire Kaijus with a single punch. He could use this strength to cover great distances in a few leaps. I mean, even with only part of his body transformed, Kafka could easily lift the company's car as if it meant nothing. Following his metamorphosis after converting his heart into a new core, Kafka's strength evolved to the point he could send the Daikaiju of the Mireki era flying through the air with a destructive fallout. He even deflected Kaiju number 2's energy blast into the sky when the Mireki Kaiju targets Tachikawa with its blast that, by the way, was able to break the sky and skyscrapers. Now, when it comes to Kaiju number 9, we'll just say that in its final forms, it could go toe-to-toe with Kafka. But truth be told, this happened mainly due to other abilities this Kaiju had and not only its strength. But how about Isao Shinomiya next? You see, his strength is said to be on par with Kafka, at least when we don't consider his rage form. Among the three, I actually think I'll be going for Kafka here, even if that means we won't be able to use him again in our video. The difference in strength with the rest of the characters is just too much to ignore. Moving on, let's see which character we'll be using for durability. Here we've got Kaiju number 8, Kaiju number 9, Isao Shinomiya, and Kaiju number 2 as our candidates. Truth be told, we'd probably go for Kaiju number 8 here, but we already used him twice so far. Something similar applies to Kaiju number 9. He was seen continuously evolving and adapting to damage, taking multiple hits from multiple opponents at the same time. However, we reserve him for some other points later on. Thus, it's between Isao and Kaiju number 2. When it comes to Isao, he was an extremely resilient man. When combined with his combat suit's defenses, he was able to endure powerful attacks from Kaiju number 8 and continue to fight. I mean, look at this guy! He's built like a tank! But is he really the best option here? Probably not, because the one I'll be choosing is none other than Kaiju number 2. You see, this Kaiju's durability was so high that its remnants still exert massive force and strain on its human host, the most out of every weaponized Kaiju out there. And this is 100% due to the Kaiju's immense durability. As a result, this is exactly who we'll choose here. We already spoke about speed, but how about agility? You see, here we have Kaiju number 1, Kaiju number 4, Hoshina, and Narumi. We already used Kaiju number 1 twice, so we can't use it again. But when it comes to Kaiju number 4, it was considered the fastest and most agile numbers weapon in the Defense Force arsenal. But was it more agile than the two beasts we'll speak about now? Probably not, because we now have to check out Narumi versus Hoshina. Which of the two was the most agile? Well, I think the answer here is pretty clear. It's Hoshina. Hoshina's entire fighting style is based on nimble dodging, weaving, and surgical strikes at close range. He regularly evades Kaiju attacks point blank, even against foes larger and faster than him, something made possible only because of his insane agility. Narumi is incredibly fast, but his style involves using predictive brain functions via Kaiju number 1's weapon, rather than raw agility. So overall, Hoshina is our best option here. Well, even if our character is insanely fast, he might still be hit at some point, right? So because of that, we'll need to give our character the regenerative abilities of someone. Here, the candidates are 3. Obviously, all of them Kaijus. The first is Kafka, that displayed insane regeneration capabilities. But again, we already used him twice so far, so he's out. Then we have Kaiju number 10. This Kaiju showcased the ability of healing limbs and deep wounds mid-battle, and even used regeneration to tank sword slashes, bullets, and explosions. But overall, when compared to the elite Kaijus in terms of regeneration, this Kaiju's probably mid to high tier. The one who's actually on top now is the one we're going to use. Kaiju number 9. You see, this Kaiju displayed the most advanced regeneration capabilities in the series. It can revive, evolve, and even replicate bodies. Add into the fact that it kept evolving after each defeat, and not only its intelligence kept progressing, but all of its abilities as well, including regeneration, of course. Kaiju number 9 will be our choice here. Okay, next, let's give our character the close hand-to-hand abilities of someone. For this one, we've got 2 candidates, Narumi and Hoshina. I mean, even though Narumi is indeed considered a beast, fast, agile, and highly overpowered, well, there's a reason Hoshina is a fan favorite. When it comes to close combat, nobody beats this guy, and thus, there's no one better to use for this point. But how about when we start discussing long-range attacks then? Well, the answer here is, of course, Mina Ashiro. You see, not only is she able to exert a minimum of 96% from her combat suit, which, let's face it, is insane, her skills while fighting are off the chart. She's known as the strongest female captain of the Defense Force for a reason, after all. She's neutralized hundreds of Kaiju in her career, all while wielding this massive cannon-like weapon. According to Director General Keiji Itami, against giant Kaiju, Mina is stronger than Gen Narumi, further stating that she's the only person in the world to be able to work with larger weapons in such a proficient way. Itami even went on to theorize that against Kaiju number 6 10 years ago, the damage that occurred could have been mitigated to under a third if Mina was active back then. Mina's incredible might was acknowledged from the very first mission she had with the 3rd Division. Director General Isao Shinomiya, upon finding out about her power, even declared that she was the missing link and that she'd change Kaiju neutralization forever. Even an enemy like Kaiju number 9 acknowledges and admires requires Mina's strength, wishing to take it from her to grow stronger. Having covered all of these, let's now talk about IQ. Well, here, I'd probably go for Kaiju number 9. After all, it's displayed the ability to constantly level up its intelligence with each new data and stimulation it receives. It constantly keeps getting smarter and smarter, and by the end of the series, it was probably the strongest character in the show, capable of outsmarting even the brightest minds of Japan's defense force. But well, I'll be honest, I still want to reserve him for a different trait instead. After all, I've already used him once in this video. So the second character we should cover is, of course, Isao Shinomiya. He's portrayed as exceptionally intelligent, especially in military strategy, kaiju research, and battlefield leadership. He combines tactical brilliance with deep scientific knowledge. As one of the first and only humans to survive synchronizing with one of the most volatile numbered weapons, aka number 2, Isao had to be both mentally resilient and intellectually sharp to maintain control. His leadership elevated the Defense Force's combat capabilities, and he personally helped develop and refine the numbers weapon system, making him not just a fighter, but a key architect of human kaiju weapon integration. Now, even though we would normally have to speak about Narumi as well here, let's be honest, I'll be going for Isao here, so no point in wasting the time, right? But okay, truth be told, intelligence would mean little without actual battle IQ. Let's see which character we'll use here. Here, the best candidates would be once again Kaiju number 9, Isao Shinomiya, and Hoshina. Kaiju number 9 would probably be the best choice, but once again, I'm still saving him for the last. And believe me, it's gonna make all the difference. For Isao Shinomiya, we already kind of spoke about him a bit in our previous point. His intelligence is not only regarding raw IQ, but a big part of it is battle IQ as well, knowing when, how, and under what circumstances to fight each opponent. Master strategist, calm and composed, he is indeed the perfect choice. But is he better than Hoshino? Well, let's see. You see, Hoshino was a genius in his own way. When he was fighting, well, he was always on top of the situation, ready to fight any opponent, no matter their fighting style. Between the two, however, I do think I lean more towards Isao, to be honest, and thus, I'll be choosing him. And for the final point of today's video, the moment you've all been waiting for, the special ability. You see, we made our character a hybrid, meaning our character has a kaiju form as well. And even though we already gave him 3 weaponized kaiju to use, we still have to give him a special ability of its own. And the best part is that unlike weaponized kaijus, this ability will be 100% his own, meaning he will be able to use it to its full extent, rather than lend power from another kaiju for it. This special ability we'll be using is from Kaiju number 9, and it will be none other than Kaiju Resurrection. I mean, this was definitely one of the most terrifying and unique powers we saw in the series. It blends biological regeneration, core mobility, and strategic possession, making not only Kaiju number 9 functionally immortal under most circumstances, it also allowed this kaiju to basically deploy an entire army of kaijus in his possession. It could possess, mutate, or reanimate other kaiju bodies, turn dead kaiju into vessels, puppets, or controlled weapons. Kaiju number 9 would inject its cells into the corpse or tissue of another kaiju and replace or take control of the kaiju's core. I think this is by far the most broken ability to have in the world of Kaiju number 8, and thus, this is exactly what I'll be choosing for our character. Click on this video next, where I'm making the 6 old-gen protagonists fight against the 6 old-gen villains to see which group is actually the strongest. Go on, check it out!